Are you a worrier? Are you a doomsday prepper? Do you give yourself 50 reasons why it could go bad just so you can be prepared in case something like that happens and you're not too let down? If that's the case for you, this episode is all about why worry is a big old bag of no. That's what we're discussing in this episode of Roxy Talks. Stay tuned. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Thank you for joining me here for another episode of Roxy Talks, where we discuss confidence, mindset, manifestation, and more. I am Roxy Lee. I'm a mindset coach, and I'm here to help you banish your negative thinking and limiting doubts so you can bring love, clarity, and joy into your life. If you'd like to sign up for one-on-one coaching so we can discuss your specific issues, you can sign up at roxytalks.com. We've also got exclusive merch, podcasts, and more. That's all at roxytalks.com. You can also join me on social media. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, worries are the worst, right? Yeah, they are, right? Because it's the same root. That's why they start with the same letters, okay? That's what we've just decided. But truly, worrying is very counterproductive, and the reason is that worrying is the thing that brings on the thing that you're worried about, because worrying is planning, it's visualizing, it's contemplating, it's going over conversations in your head. It's playing out a bunch of terrible scenarios because I don't know what's going to happen. It could be this awful thing. It could be this awful thing. It could be this awful thing. Universe, send me something awful, please, because only awful things are happening in my mind. And awful, and oh my God, ooh, God, what, right? Worrying literally calls to you the thing that you're worried about, because worrying saturates the mind. Worrying becomes an all the time thing. Worrying is nonstop. Worrying is habitual. Worrying is automatic. Worrying is something that people are hardwired to do. And so they do. And so if they're not aware of the fact that they're worried about something, if they're not aware of the fact that they're going 20 miles down worry road, planning out all the ways that something can happen to them in the worst possible way, they're essentially voting for a bunch of terrible outcomes and then saying, all right, universe, here's a bunch of awful things that I would hate to happen to me. Please bring, I don't know, any of them, all of them. It doesn't really matter. You can just bring, I'm just going to keep thinking of them and feeding you thoughts and food of terrible things that I don't want to experience. Please bring them as soon as possible. That's essentially what you're doing, because the universe does not decipher good or bad. There is no such thing as good or bad. There only is. The good or bad is our own judgment, and we're the only ones judging it in our reality. There's no other judgment being made upon us. There's no thing out there judging us. Nobody out here is judging us. All of that comes from within, okay? So if you've got something constantly playing out on your mind and you're just visualizing the shit out of it, you know it's going to happen. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. I knew she would do that. I knew it was going to end up like this. I knew they were going to say that. I knew there would be a third party. I just knew they'd go find somebody else, right? Well, why do that to yourself? We know that our thoughts create. So it's really important once you discover that you be very much on top of what you're doing in there, because that thing is perpetuating your world. Whether you like it or not, this is what's happening. So your job is to pay attention. Listen to what you're actually doing with your thoughts. What am I really saying here? Am I picking up the phone and dialing the number of the thing I don't want? Ooh, this thing better not pick up. I don't want it. Please pick up. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. Please pick up. Please pick up. Please pick up. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Please pick up. That's what we're doing when we're worrying. The universe doesn't know we think it's good or bad. It just knows that we are constantly being bombarded by it, meaning it is filling our awareness, meaning it is perpetuating in our world. Our awareness perpetuates. So if you are filling yourself with worrisome thoughts, getting yourself worked up about how things might turn out in a bad way, you are literally asking for that to come to you. This is why getting down the practice is so important, because this stuff is automatic. This stuff is habitual. This is programmed into you. You've done it so much and for so long and so often. You're so freaking good at it that you really have to work twice as hard to stop it when it happens, because it's gonna be running in the background sometimes. So you need to be really aware of what you're doing with your mind in any single given moment. This is part 2 of my 2-part 360 signature approach. I'll link that video above, which is my own personal approach to manifesting. What we do during the day, when our mind is checked out, when we have time to think, when we don't know what we're doing with our thoughts, we're taking a shower, washing our face, brushing our teeth, making food, walking the dogs, driving somewhere if we ever get to do that again, right? You're doing those things, working out, stuff that God knows what we're thinking about. We need to be making sure that we are controlling the content that is cycling through when we are mentally checked out. So I say you become your own affirmations tape. You start playing these things on a loop in your mind, only good thoughts, only thoughts that align with the new reality you're stepping into, only thoughts the ideal version of you might think during the day. They don't have to necessarily be positive. They just need to not be destructive. They just not need to be calling back that old reality that you are working so hard to remove yourself from. So stuff your worries in a sack and stop allowing them to take up your mind space. Be conscious of what you're doing. Pay attention to what's going on in your mind. And if you catch yourself worrying about something, shut that thought down and replace it with something else. The only thing that you should ever be worried about from now on is where your mind is at. That's the only thing you should ever worry about is what am I doing with my mind right now? What am I describing? How am I explaining? How am I narrating my current situation? Because the way that I narrate my situation is the way that the 3D world plays out in front of me. So I'm going to be really, 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 really careful of what I'm doing with this process. If I'm narrating, I'm only telling a story that I actually want to experience in my 3D world. And if I catch myself doing anything but that, I'm shutting it down and I'm replacing it with more information from the storyline I'd like to experience. So I want you to comment down below. I am always aware of where my mind is. I am always aware of where my mind is because I want it to be a habit for you to be constantly checking and making sure that you are thinking the thoughts that you need to think and the thoughts aren't thinking you. Now, this week is the last week that I'm offering my traditional version of the Specific Person workshop, which is my best-selling workshop. This is normally a 3-person class that I teach you. It's an intimate get-together. We talk about our issues. We help you rewrite your story for love and relationships. However, this class sells out really fast and I can't get to it as much as I'd like to, and people are having to wait almost 2 months to get in. So I've automated the entire system. It will be out very soon. When it drops, when the new system comes out, it will be $100 off during the lockdown. And every person who's ever purchased it before will have access to the automated system automatically. Now, if you'd like to get in on the personal 3-on-1 class where I actually teach you the information myself, I'm only doing that. I'm only selling those for the next few days until this new system comes out. So if you want in on that class before it's gone forever, sign up now before the new system rolls out and you'll have access to both. You get the automated course and the intimate 3-person class. But if you want to wait and just get the $100 off, then wait till the new system rolls out and you'll be able to access the information immediately. Again, if you've ever signed up for the SP workshop in the past before, you will have access to the automated system automatically. You can sign up for that workshop at my website, roxytalks.com. You can also sign up for one-on-one coaching and we can discuss exactly how you can control your worrying and your doomsday prepping, turn that into best case scenario prepping. One-on-one coaching is available at my website, roxytalks.com. I've also got exclusive merch, podcasts, and more. That's all at roxytalks.com. You can also join me on social media. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Here on the Roxy Talks channel, I go live every Monday at noon-ish PST for Q&A. And I've got brand new videos out every Tuesday through Friday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss an update. And if you're feeling generous, please like and share. That helps us reach as many people as possible. And everyone deserves to know that they are in complete control of their reality. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you.